been in the AI space for the last 24 months. I got a little bit about me. I got my, I guess, teeth cut in real estate. So I've sold over $200 million in real estate. I started and got my real estate license 10 years ago, where I just come off of probably my biggest season of battle and losing my mom, my job, and my home all within a matter of 2.5 weeks. But fast forward within that next 9 months, I was able to do 46 deals worth $8 million in volume. I got the Rookie of the Year in the state of Nebraska, and that was kind of where my journey started to take off from. As I started just building more relationships with business owners and consumers, what I seen was a lot of the times people lacked systems. They lack systems in their lives, they lack systems in their business. And so for me, because I always loved the tech side, I started out and I was learning a lot about how do I build systems and how do I automate things. There was things that I knew when I first got into business, and I don't come from the entrepreneurship world, but I learned how to be a purebred entrepreneur just through trial and error. So if anybody else is here and they're an entrepreneur and they're just getting started, trust me when I tell you there's hope. You don't need a degree, especially not in this time that we're in right now. You just need a little bit of willpower, and you need determination, and you need a why. You need to know why you're doing what you're doing. But I would tell you this is the greatest wealth transfer in history. Why is because AI right now is transforming everything as we know it. It's transforming businesses, it's transforming lives, and it's giving a lot of people a lot of time back. And so in this session, I wanted to share with you guys 4 tools that I'm using on a daily basis almost. Definitely 3 of them. One I use probably every other day, but these tools have saved me probably 15 to 20 hours per week, which is a lot of time, especially when you run multiple businesses. But they've also saved me, I would say, at least $100,000 per year. So I'm going to share these with you all, and let me know if you have any questions. Feel free to drop them in the chat. I'll also be doing a live demo of one of the systems that I've built. And yeah, if there's anything that you guys want me to share after the presentation, if there's any questions, please let me know. For anybody who is hopping on here, like Miss Kimberly or LaShana or anyone else that's on, I want to make sure that this can be as interactive as we can make it. So I appreciate everybody watching on YouTube or any of the other social media platforms. And so without further ado, I'll go ahead and we'll get into it. So give me just 2 seconds and I'll pull up my screen and we should be good to go. All right. So you all should be able to see my screen. We'll take a look at this, and the title of this presentation, give me a second, I'll make sure this is down. The title of this presentation is 150K content team in your laptop for $200 a month or less. So today I'm going to be showing you how to leverage cutting edge AI tools to replace your entire content team while saving over $150,000 annually, definitely depending on where you live. And these powerful digital assistants will revolutionize how you create content, how you optimize that content, and also how you distribute content across multiple platforms without breaking the bank. So we'll hop right into it. And I wanted to talk about the old way of how we know how to create content, but then also the new way. So the old way is if you have a content writer, you're paying somewhere between $3,000 to $4,000 a month if you're creating content seriously for your business. So within that, you're paying somewhere between $40,000 to $48,000 a year for scripts, email newsletters, posts. But then also you might have a content coach. I know a couple good friends of mine who are content strategists and more consultants and coaches. And that can be anywhere from, again, $3,000 to $5,000 a month. Even on the low end, if you're 2,000 to 3,000, you could easily be paying $35,000 a year. A researcher, again, we're always looking for the trends. We want to make sure that we are industry experts, no matter what industry that we're in. So within that, you could be paying $2,000 to $3,000 a month, especially if if you're going after enterprise clients or bigger end clients where you know if you present as the expert, you're going to be able to crush it. So you need to make sure that you're investing into that research. And then voice talent. For some of us, right, we don't like to hear our voice, we don't like to make videos. And so there's tools out there now that are at our dispense. And I know that I'm using these tools quite a bit, even though I do love, to speak, but sometimes, you just want to scale your content. So having these tools out there, which we'll talk about during this presentation, can help you as well. And then a content scheduler. So of course, we've all known about Hootsuite or Buffer, but there's other tools out there nowadays that are a little bit more modernized, and you can actually use these tools to be able to post across multiple platforms, and you can do it automated. So that's the old way. The new way, for again $200 or less every month, you can use a tool called Claude, which I absolutely use every single day. I'm going to show you how I use it. ChatGPT, which a lot of people know what ChatGPT is, but essentially both of these are just large language models. So we like to think of them as the brain. They're great at generating ideas for you, but now they're becoming even more robust where they're being able to be put inside of automations or workflows. So now you can have the total package, and we'll talk about what that looks like. We talked about 11 Labs, which this is the voice talent. I use this myself. This can help you to create podcasts. This can help you to create videos without using your own voice. If at nighttime you got a script and you're saying, hey, I need to get this up there, you can use a tool like 11 Lab, which is right now top of the industry. But you can also use this as your voice AI agent. So maybe you're someone who you get a lot of calls and you wanted someone to field those inbound calls. Well, for you to go get a sales agent, that could cost you 2 grand a month, 4 grand a month, or even upwards, and you might even have to pay a commission. But within this, if you're using your voice in 11 Labs combined with another tool, you can absolutely have your own inbound voice agent, which can qualify and also help you book people to your calendar. But that first starts out with 11 Labs. And then last but not least, something that maybe a lot of people don't talk about, but these are no code automation tools. And these are tools that I absolutely love. They make my life a lot easier. And my favorite one is called N8N. And so again, I'm going to show you what that looks like. But these are the tools right here. And you can get these for, again, less than $20 a month. Claude goes from the pro level for about $20. ChatGPT on the plus plan goes for about $20. 11 Labs, you can get this for $15 a month. And then N8N has a free hosting. Otherwise, if you pay for their cloud, it's about $25 a month. So you're still way, way less than anything you would be doing the old way. So we talked about this a little bit, but I'll tell you, and so you could see it in person. Again, Claude, your brain robot, Claude and ChatGPT, I like to use them interchangeably, just to make sure that I have the greatest output. I will tell you, whenever you are using AI, when it comes to scripts or when it comes to any type of content, understand that it is garbage in, garbage out, right? So what that means is if you don't give it some context, if you don't give it enough and you just say, hey, write me some scripts, a lot of the times what happens is it doesn't know what to go off of, right? So it's just going off of all of the data, which is honestly now probably billions of content that it's getting flushed with every single day. And now trying to find out what is your voice and how it can help. So I'm going to show you a couple ways of how, if you're not already doing this, you can absolutely refine it more without getting too technical to make sure that you have the best opportunity for that to sound like you while still generating ideas because it knows so much about you. And then 11 Labs, I'll show you how that works. And then N8N, which is your essentially digital automated connector. So that might sound crazy, but you'll see what I mean. You're going to be able to use this to connect multiple tools and get whatever the outcome that you want is. So all four of these tools together, again, we talked about this, less than $200 a month, which is a fraction of hiring even a part-time team member. So let's go over ChatGPT, right? So I like to show these things in person and kind of show a lot of the things of what I do, rather than just showing it just off of the presentation. So you guys should still be able to see my screen, but I'll tell you on the the left-hand side over here, we have a couple different things. So before they had custom GPTs, and now in combination with custom GPTs, they also have projects. So first off, let's go over a custom GPT. So with the custom GPT, and we won't get too technical, but essentially this becomes your right hand. What you can do is you can come in here, and I encourage everybody to create one, because once you do, you can configure this and you just give it a quick description. So you can see right here, this is one of my content writers. And I just told it, it writes, viral and engaging video scripts. And this is specifically around AI and automation for me. Now, when we get down into here, as you can see here, I've done a couple things. One, I've given it in headers, and this helps the large language model be able to identify what's most important. So you can see here, I've told it who it's writing for, what's the core message, right? What's the mission? But I've also went a little bit deeper into it, and I gave it spoken word voice rules. Why? Is because if it's writing content for me, especially if it's writing a video script, I needed to understand everything about how fast do I talk, right? Which I'm a little bit of a fast talker, but that's more because I get very passionate and it just flows off the top. But you can see I've given it those things. You might be someone that, and there's easy ways for you to be able to do this, right? So if you take the simple way that you can figure out this is if you take one of your videos, if you already have a video, you take that transcript, make sure that you have the timestamps as well, and it will be able to calculate how many based off of the time. Because if that video is 25 minutes, AI will be able to see that that was a 25-minute video and how many words did you have, right? So then you say, okay, approximately what am I speaking at? Right. And it'll tell you you're about 170, 185 words per minute. So this helps because, again, if AI doesn't know and you ask it, hey, write me any type of a script or write me any type of content, or I just even need a hook, right? So I could do the rest of it straight off of bullet points. I just need you to write me a hook. It's not going to feel like you because it doesn't understand your cadence. So this is a way that you can help it to understand your cadence. So another thing that I do, as you see right here, is I say talk to them, not at them. I've given them some natural words that I normally use, right? All the cultural integration, emotional rhythm. I've tried to give it as much context as possible, right? So whether I've also taken some of my videos and I've given it, the script, I've given it the entire transcript, and you'll see that as well for me to be able to use it. So this is something that if you guys want this, you guys can definitely DM me, which I'll put that at the end, or you could reach out to me. Again, I always want to help. I want to support. I'll give you guys the templates and things like that that I use, but I just wanted to kind of go through it. I also give it quality checkpoints, right? So it sounds like Casanova when it opens up with transformational stories that connect emotionally, right? But it does like it needs revision when it sounds like generic business advice, tech tutorials, too much jargon without heart or context, right? Missing any type of a spiritual or cultural DNA because that's how I normally talk, right? And so these are all the things that you could see that I give it here. But not only that, that's just a part of its instructions, which is great. But you could see down here, what I've also done is I've given it these files. So I've given it voice transcripts. I've given it my SOP, which is my entire blueprint. It talks everything about my story, what I've done, my transformations, my downfalls, my successes. So it knows just about anything. So when it goes to reference, this is essentially its knowledge base, right? So now I can hop in here and I can just say, hey, write me a script for the AI content school presentation that I'm actually won't even say script. We'll say write me an outline that I'm doing for my sister LaShana's content community. We'll just say community. So right here, absolutely, let's build it out. Again, remember story and connection. Look, I remember the first time I saw someone use AI, not to replace folks, but to get their time back for what really matters. Family, freedom, faith. That's when I realized automation ain't about replacing us, it's about elevating us. Right. So you can kind of see here that it already has that in there. Now I've given it everything that it needs, showcase the Dream Nation content engine, story brand and personal or storytelling and personal brand, content, all of those things. So this right here will do 85% of the work for me in the beginning. And it has it all in there. Now, and you can see at the end, let me know and I'll dial it in for LaShana's crew. But for me, I don't ever just stop here. So even though I like what ChatGPT does, and of course you can change out the models, which is great on these now. So you can go with advanced reasoning. One of the smarter models that I like to use is 4.1, but I use 303 a lot. But I'll tell you, I almost always take this over to Claude. The reason why I choose to take it over to Claude is because I feel like Claude writes with more emotion and it speaks more naturally for a human. So, what you guys will see here is I also have the same thing, right? I have it over in Claude. So, I've told it, I've given it project knowledge. It doesn't even have as much, but I've told it about everything that I do. And so, right here, I would come here and I would say, hey, write me this, and I would take it to Claude for the AI content school presentation. And I would say, here is a first draft. How would you grade it? Based on my guidelines. Say based on my personality, right? So, in a normal scenario, if you do not have these built out, one of the things that I almost always do, and I would encourage you to do, is if I'm just going in blank and I don't already have a project or a custom GPT built out, I would tell it act as a world-class X, whatever X is. So act as a world-class award-winning prompt engineer, right? So let's say I just wanted that, then it's going to give me basically high level overview. So that's how I started out. Now, again, in here, I don't have to do it because it knows and I've given it so much context and formatting so it can read those. But if I was just coming in blank, I would say act as a world class and let's see, we'll just stay on this, but I would say act as a world class, you know, and award-winning prompt engineer, and then I'm going to give it the context. Now, if you're like, okay, well, how do I give it the context? There's a couple ways that I go about doing this. One, I love to do voice notes. So you guys can't see all of my screen, but for me, I use Apple. And so what I would do is I'll have my phone and I'll use the voice notes to basically tell it everything of what I have going on right now, what my goal is, the context around it, what the challenge is, and what I'm looking for in the end. So what I do from there is I take it and then I basically copy all of that and I'll throw it right underneath here. So I tell it act as a world-class award-winning direct response copywriter, right? And then I from there I tell it exactly what I want and then we go from there. So just kind of a pro tip right there. That's something that I always do and it's gotten me some of the best results, gotten me clients, gotten me presentations that I've crushed, everything. So if I could give somebody one nugget, that's exactly one that I would give. So now back to it. I said, here is the first draft that I have. How would you do it based off of my personality? Now you could, come in here and you could kind of be lazy, or as in lazy, I just mean just copy the whole thing, right? But if you really wanted it to give like it was talking to you, I would say I would just copy this part and then I would come back over and I would say, here's the first draft. How would you grade it based on my personality? And then I'm going to see what it says. So after this, and what I love about it from here is, again, they're getting smarter, so they're thinking quite a bit. So as you can see right here, let me analyze this outline based on Casanova Brooks's personality and voice described in the documents provided. First, let me understand his key characteristics, which you can see these right here, right? Authentic authority, right? So all of the same things. What's working, what needs work. So you'll see these down here. Here's what's working, where it can level up, and it tells me all of these right here, right? And then I would say, okay, great. Now let's revise based on your recommendations. Giving me a clean output. So this is where you have to take it a couple times to go through it because what's going to happen is it's going to give me, you know, their version of it. So look, I got to tell y'all about this conversation that changed everything for me. I'm sitting across from this single mom. She's got a coaching business, trying to serve her community, but you can see right there it already sounds like my cadence. Like it feels just like me, right? So I could tweak it still, but it's right there of what I need. So again, she looks me dead in the eye and says, "Casanova, I know I'm supposed to help people, but I can't even help myself right now." Right. So again, I don't have to do very much tweaking on this, but even if I wanted to go back, what I would do if I didn't love it or I wanted to try to get the best of the best, I would then take this back over here. And even if we went to O3, and then I would say, is that stronger than this? And this is how I go back and forth until I feel like I have something that is perfect for me. So it'll tell me looking at both line or both outlines, they'll both get the job done, but the other one, as in Claude, is swinging the heavier hammer. Here's the real talk. Here's the real talk breakdown, right? So why quads hits harder, right? And tiny tweaks that I could do to make it bulletproof. So from here, it says that it's already good. So if I liked it, I could just take that one. Or if I liked a couple of these, right, I could just literally copy and paste, or I could only take a couple of these tweaks. And then I would say, come back over here, and I would say, okay, and here's my feedback. First, tell me if you agree. And from there, I would just give it that feedback. So if I wanted to add those in, it would tell me, or I could have just said, hey, put these in and then revise it. So I think you're getting a point here. We won't spend too much time on it, but you can see right here now it's come back and it said 100% agree. These tweaks are chef's kiss, right? So now I'm essentially using both of them to give me the ultimate output, right? Now there's ways that you could do this 100% automated, which we're about to hop into in just a second. But these are some of the things that I think for a lot of people, when they are using ChatGPT, they're maybe not using it to the best of their advantage. First off is, again, even if you wanted just a prompt, I would tell you to tell it up front to act as a world-class, award-winning prompt engineer, right? And then you would give it the context. I am looking to, write 10 scripts for my business that I'm launching and whatever that business is. Here's the target audience. Give it as much context as you can. I need the ultimate prompt so this can write in my voice. And so we don't leave anything out. I need to make sure that it's focused on outcomes and transformations, not on technical jargon, all those things. So then what you're going to get is you're going to get a clear prompt of what an AI would be looking for to give you said output. If you already have examples of it, copy and paste that and say, here's an example from a competitor. Here's an example from my coach. I'm following in her footsteps. She has amazing copy. This is the style. Here's the level of copy that I'm looking for. Now you put that inside of a Google Doc. You could put two, three, four examples on there, and then you upload that Google Doc, whether it's a Markdown, which is just the style, like it could be PDF, Markdown, if you ever see like .md, it's just basically plain text. It could be any style that you want, but now you upload that and that becomes a part of your knowledge base. So the more, remember what I told you, garbage in, garbage out. The more that you can give it, the better off it's going to be. Examples, it doesn't even have to be your content. You just tell it, here's some things that I really like. Here's why I like it. And you can maybe first analyze it and say, well, why did this do so well? And it'll tell you. Now, you take that to Claude, right? And you say, why did this do so well? And it will tell you as well. You piece those together. So I think you all are getting the point. I'm going to move on to the next thing, but hopefully this has been helpful. This is how I get the ultimate copy almost every single time, is because I go back and forth. Now, the thing that I don't want you to forget is I have trained them, right? So if you just go back and forth, but it doesn't have context on what you're ultimately looking for, you won't get the best results. So don't forget that part. I've trained them extensively with a lot of content, a lot of context. So this is how they can write in my voice, emails, scripts, outlines. It doesn't matter what it is. So do that work up front, and then it'll be so much easier on the back end. Now, we're going to go to something else that I absolutely love, which is 11 Labs. Now, you guys have heard me in 11 Labs. The thing about 11 Labs that I love is, like I said, you could use this almost universally, because a lot of things, like you might have heard of voice AI systems. One that comes to my mind, which is at the top, is called VAPI, VAPI, and we built systems in VAPI that are full-blown voice AI that can accept inbound calls and also make outbound calls. Well, when we do this, especially when we do it for clients, I always have them create a professional voice clone, right? So I'm not going to play another person's, but I will play mine so you all can get to hear exactly what this looks like or what this sounds like. And then you could see how you probably could use this for yourself. So right here, this is my professional piece is rooted in the soil of safety. So I'm going to play this one more time so you can hear it, but peace is rooted in the soil of safety. Hopefully you all can hear this. Of course I can't. Please drop it in the chat if you can't hear that, and I'll try. But so now here's what I'll show you when we're using, so we'll use this voice and it will say, thank you, LaShana, for allowing me to speak to your community. I really hope this was valuable. Now, here's what I'll tell you. They have different models. You can see right here, they're testing out a newer model, which is on the research. So just kind of, you'll do a little bit of research on this. But again, remember, 11 Labs is not very expensive. You can get it for like $11. So it's not very expensive at all. But what we're going to do is I'm going to use this one. Now, what it allows you to do is just a couple settings. There's not too many, but you can see it's very similar. So I'm just going to play this for you. Thank you, LaShana, for allowing me to speak to your community. I really hope this was valuable. Now,
Oh my God, that was
it's crazy, right? And you just got to play around with it a little bit, right? So again, I got it on 75, I turned it to 80, and it just, and you can keep, you like regenerating and just try it. Thank you, LaShana, for allowing me to speak to your community. I really hope this was valuable. Right. So again, there's settings that you can tweak and you can play around with it. It's not very technical, but it's crazy how it can sound, right? So let's see if I could find a different one. Casanova. I had one that I did that was my daughter, and literally I sent that to her in a text message. I shoot you not, right? I sent it to her in a text message, and it was like, "Hey Jada," and I said, "What did I say?" This was like a month ago when I first created the voice, but I sent it and I was like, "Hey Jada, I need you to clean up your room before your mom gets home. Also, you owe me $5 out of your piggy bank because I knew you took my money," or something I said like that, and I sent it to her in a text message. And she could not tell the difference initially. She was like, she came downstairs. She was like, "What are you talking about? I owe you money." And it was so funny, right? So again, these are things that you can play around with. with, this is how game is changing, right? And I want to keep this, I don't want to make it too technical for you all, but you could use this right now to start your own podcast. You can use this right now to just do short social media clips. There's so many things that you can use this for. You could use this right now just to, go through, send happy birthday messages, right? And if you're looking to start or get into AI, these are things right now that you can now start to show other people that they can use, and maybe you become their consultant for it. So there's so many tools out there. This tool right here, though, when it comes to voice AI, is top of the market. So you would not be second to any by using 11 Labs. So just kind of keep that in mind. The other thing is, maybe you say, hey, I don't want to use my own voice. That's totally fine. They have many of voices here that you can use. I will tell you, I run multiple YouTube automated channels, which I'll show you one of those here in just a minute, but it uses 100% AI to do it, right? So I don't touch it at all, and it makes me money on autopilot. So this is one of the things that you'll be able to do. Now, some people in here might be watching or might be thinking, depending on when you watch this, that everybody's talking right now about the new YouTube parameters that's starting here in 5 days, where they're going to be locking down a little bit on faceless content. No one really knows yet what that's going to look like, but I would just tell you what their goal is to try to create more original content. So when you're creating stuff like this, if you're using your own voice, it's yet to be seen what are they going to do. But that's only for YouTube. What you still can do is you can use this content for your audience. You can use this content. There's another tool out there, which I'm not going to get too deep into this one, but my clients use this, and it's called HeyGen, right? So HeyGen allows you, and let's look, I'll actually show you a client that he's actually using this tool right here.
Look, half your borrowers freeze when you take days to drop a term sheet. Every hour, you're ping-ponging emails.
So you can see this is only the video portion of it. Now, he's created his own AI side of it too. Or I'm sorry, voice side of it too, where it sounds 100% like him, right? And I can actually probably even, let's see if you all can hear this, which is his real voice. So I'll show you just this one quick sample. Let me know if you can hear.
Hey, Lindsay, can you do me a favor and check what videos we have to be released next week for our LinkedIn extravaganza?
Can you hear that? Drop it in the chat if you can hear that. If you
Yes.
can't, you can. So this is how he really sounds. He has a South African accent. It's how he really sounds. So he was absolutely blown away. This is probably 98% of how he sounds. So I'll play it one more time. So what we have the ability to do here is we can take this audio and then we can put it with that video, right? So these are things that I just want your wheels spinning about.
Hey, Lindsay, can you do me a favor and check what videos we have to be released next week for our LinkedIn extravaganza?
So just again, I hope your wheels are spinning. There's no excuse now that you cannot go out and create content. You don't have to so with this, we're going to be able to scale his content creation because now he's done it. So for me, obviously I understand how to create scripts, all these other things. So his content creation will be able to start putting out 2 to 3 videos every single day for him using his professional voice clone. Plus, we'll be able to create over 100 different outfits for this because this is just one, but we'll be able to create many more. So again, hopefully this has your wheels turning. Now, I want to show you some things of what I've done and how I've used content creation for my own self. And hopefully this will help your wheels get to turning as well, because I think that it's very, very powerful. So this is a tool that I use every single day, and it's called N8N. Now, some of you all might be familiar with Zapier or maybe even make.com. What these tools are they are no code automation platforms. So essentially what they allow you to do is to connect multiple platforms together, and they are the universal connector. So you don't need to know code, you don't need to know any of those things. So it's very simple. Now, I share that because it is it is a little bit of a learning curve, but it's not nearly you having to go to school for, engineering or anything like that. I'm going to show you something that I just built a couple days ago. I built many systems over the last few months, which is why LaShana had me come in and teach this. And when I share with you the types of systems that I'm building, it's these are what we build for companies. So I'll show you actually a couple. One. So this right here, we have I'm going to show you guys a system that I'm building right now. And this is in make.com. Again, don't worry about the technical side. I just want you guys to kind of see where it can go if you understand how to build systems, especially if you love AI and automation. So this right here is for the second largest exotic luxury rental company agency on the East Coast, right? So this is a system where we have automated their entire system, everything from the text messages to anytime, anyhow they get leads, whether it comes in off of Facebook, it comes in off of their lead form, everything. The moment that they get a lead coming in, our AI bot reaches out to them, and we have lots of different parameters based off of the cars, the mileage, everything. This does look like obviously a lot going on, and there is a lot going on here, but I would just share with you this is the power of where it can go, because with this system here, and this is just the AI conversation piece, but then when we get to the booking times, you can see here we're getting all of the available times. So even if they, have, whether it's a Lamborghini Hurricane Evo Spider, or if it's a Ferrari, or if it's a G-Class, it doesn't matter what it is. We get the car times, we format it, all of these different things. So if you're thinking like, why should I learn AI? Why should I have an AI partner? This is exactly why, because the system that we built here will easily replace 2 salespeople, which will easily cost him $200,000, right? A year. Because if you're doing luxury cars and normally somebody gets a lead in and then they have to have a salesperson that calls that person up and tries to sell them. Within that, they don't have to do it anymore. You can see this is with SMS, this is with voice. We also had the price calculation on here. So within this part, you could see that like depending on where they are renting the car from, we want to make sure that it understands the closest city, the closest location. So if someone just comes in and they say, hey, I want to rent the Lamborghini, and it's like, okay, great. Where you want to pick it up from, or where do you want to deliver to? And it's like, well, I'm flying into Naples, where it's got to know what is the closest location, to Naples that we can get you that car. So then it's going to calculate, okay, well, we have a hub in Miami, right? So we can do it in Miami, and then it's got to calculate how much is that delivery fee. So there's just a lot of things that go on with that. We've also built the same type of system here for a med spa, actually now 2 med spas. So that these are just to show you what this can do for your business. Now I'm going to show you something else that is not so much focused on big systems, and I'm going to show you something that you can use for your content creation right now. And this is something that I built to scratch my own itch. And I'll show you a couple of them. Now, this is a separate platform, but they do the same thing. The one that I just showed you here is called make.com. So you could start out with make.com. They do have a free plan, but I would encourage you to get the cheapest plan if you're using something like this to automate. Now, you might be asking, okay, well, what do I automate? You can automate almost anything. So if you wanted an AI agent that anytime you get an email that comes in, you have it read that email, send you a message on WhatsApp or Slack, tell you what the points of the email is, and ask you how do you like to respond, and you just respond in a voice note, you can do that. If you wanted to categorize based off of the emails, you can absolutely do that. So now if you wanted it, if it's like I'll show you, I built a SOP agent, and I might have to stop sharing, and I'm going to have to share my entire screen for you guys to see this part. So entire screen, I'll show it here. So if we come here to Telegram, so you can see this is my personal Telegram bot. So I have it doing different things, which I'll show you here in a little bit. But what I've done here, and I'll show, let's come over back here to N8N. So you can see here, there's an SOP agent. Now, I have a main executive assistant. So this looks like a lot, but please, it's very kind of simple. I'll walk you through it. It is simple. It looks like a brain. I know it. You hear that all the time. But what this is basically whenever I send a message in Telegram, this pings this Telegram right here. From there, it's got to decide, is it an audio note? Is it a text note? Or is it an image? Right? So when I send this, then it knows depending on what it is that I'm sending through there, it needs to categorize that. And then it sends it to my first AI agent. So this is my main assistant. So you can see here that I've given it a prompt and I said, you are Casanova's ultimate executive assistant. The current date and time is this. Overview, you're the ultimate personal assistant. Your job is to send the user's query to the correct tool. So I'm Casanova, I'm the user to its correct tool. Now I want you to think of tools as additional agents. So think of this as a project manager, right? So you have multiple departments in your company. You could have the marketing department. You could have the accounting department. You could have the SOP department. You could have the sales department. That's what these tools are. So you can see in my tools that I'm building, I have a think tool. So it will call on this tool when it needs to think deeply. It'll have an email agent tool. It'll call on this tool when it needs to take action specifically in email. This calendar agent, contact agent, I'm sure you're getting the point. So I've given it some rules. I said some actions require you to look up contact information first because I'm going to give it my entire contact database for the following options. And then you must get the email address first and send that to the agent who needs it. So you can kind of see the prompt that I've given it. Final reminder, here is the date and time. So from there, you can see that it has 3 different tools, which are all just, again, different departments. So you have an SOP agent, you have a calendar agent, and you can see all of the only instructions I gave it is call this tool for any calendar or scheduling related queries, right? We also have a email agent tool. So it does this. Now, to show you when I call on, and I'm trying to not make it too technical, but when I told it, I said I wanted you to help me with a SOP. So let's come up here. Since you try to find one. So you can see right here, let's see. Can you generate a proposal for me for Paul? Can you all hear that? I'll pull up the chat just to make sure.
Yes.
Okay, cool. So let's make sure this was one of the ones. Okay, so. Okay, great. So coming back to Telegram, you'll see this was on 7/3, as you can see right here. I asked it, can you generate a proposal for me for Paul? He is a barber who's looking to open up his own barbershop and he wants a growth system. He wants a database reactivation. He also wants to be able to generate leads via chat, so SMS, and then also via voice. Okay, so what happens from there, and I'll show you first off, so I'm not leaving anything out on you guys. So now, so you can see it comes all through here, and now it has it. So it knows to call on the SOP agent. Now, I come over here to the SOP agent, and you can see right here, it says when executed or triggered by another workflow. The other workflow was the main executive assistant workflow that you just saw. So now here's this AI agent, right? So you could see here's the query. So it's write a standard operating procedure and creating a link in bio page. So I was just testing this one out. And then you could see here is the role and the identity that I gave it. You are Dream Nation SOP Builder AI, a world-class operations architect, right? I give it its mission and then what's the input that it's normally going to receive. So it can expect messy, unstructured notes. Because for me, a lot of the times, and LaShana will tell you, I'm not as structured as I like to be. This is the reason why I like voice notes. But infer the best practices or default whenever possible. So again, if I don't give it all of the context that it needs, I need it to use its brain. I can't be, I don't want to ask me a lot of questions because it already has a lot of the information. It's going to take as much as it has, and then it's going to try to give me something. Remember, I'm going to review it in the end, but then provide sample references, links, or templates if none are supplied. Package all outputs in a markdown template below. Use Casanova's signature tone, direct, energetic, no fluff, right? So it has all of this context here. And you could also see that I've given it the format that I want it to be in. So from there, I also have connected it. I'll come back over here so you all can see it. So I will come down here. So after it gets that information, it can go down one or two paths. Now I will tell you that it's connected right here to ChatGPT 4.1 mini. You can connect this to Claude. You can connect it to whatever it is that you want to. I felt like 4.1, it's the most cost effective. And for what I need, which is a straight line task, it's good enough. It'll definitely do a great job. So this right here, this can help a lot of people because imagine if I'm on a call with any of you all and I tell you all of the things that I can help you with or all of the things that I can help you with your business. Well, I use something, for example, and you guys are seeing how my brain is working in real time, which I'm going to build out. It all takes a little bit of time, right? Because you got to build it. But for me, I use something called Fireflies on all of mine. Now, some people use Fathom, some people use all types of note takers. But where my brain is going to go with this is let's say I'm having a call with, and what should go back? Miss Kimberly, Miss Henderson. Let's say I'm having a call with you and I tell you all of the things that I can help with. And you say, oh, okay, that's great. Well, do me a favor, send me a proposal and like a detail of everything that you're gonna do, and I'll review it and I'll get back to you. Right. So now instead of, and the reason why I like this is because it'll tell me all, so it gives me an overview, but then it also tells me what my action steps are. So if I need to provide written documentation of thing, whatever it might be, then okay, that's great. So now I give this all to my AI agent, right? Automate it. So that means whenever I'm done with this, I needed to instantly go over to my AI agent. I needed to analyze and tell if I'm supposed to give a proposal. The other thing that I could do is I could just get this link right here and I could go to my Telegram bot and I got different, you can see I have different commands here. So if I wanted it specifically for the SOP, I could have that and I could say SOP if I wanted to, and then I could just paste that if that makes sense. So now it knows to review because I specifically want it to come up with an SOP. Once it comes up with that SOP, here is going to be the end result, right? So streamline all email communications. And this is, I didn't do any of this. This is 100% AI. Detailed requirements, non-functional style, assets and access. Here's the kickoff phase of how long it would be. Here's most likely the budget, right? That we have for something like this or how much it would cost you, right? Communication and ownership, open questions, info needed, and I could create this on everyone. So now if I come back over here and I show you all these docs, you can see that it's created me many of these SOPs. Like one day I just told it, I needed you just to create me a landing page. I need you to create me a SOP. So if I was going to give this to a contractor, right, or somebody that I found on Upwork or Fiverr, and they were like, yeah, that sounds good. Here's what I need you to do. I need you to give me like a detailed of what all you need, and then I'll give you a proposal. Okay, well, right here, here's what I'm telling it. I needed to create me a high converting, visually engaging landing page with an embedded video sales letter for my Dream Builders AI Academy to attract, educate, and convert new members for my AI community. Right. So now this is so you guys see it. This is exactly what I would want. And I did this in literally 7 seconds. Right. Like it's just when you think about the power of this, it's just crazy. Now, on this, you guys see this. I'm gonna show you one last thing that I just built, and this is around YouTube. And I'm I've built a lot of systems around YouTube. I built AI systems, which is great. But the last one that I built, I think is absolutely amazing. I was telling you all about, I built productivity agents. So this is a really cool agent. It's an on-demand agent. So you can see right here, the job, I've given it the mission. Again, the mission is to keep Casanova focused on top priorities, break into task into tiny actionable steps, prompt for yes or no confirmation if unsure, right? And so it has a lot of this context, but this is the AI on-demand agent, but there's also two other agents that go along with this. This is an evening productivity agent. Now, let me give you a quick overview of how this works. At nighttime, what will happen at 8 p.m. at night, I will get a message through Telegram from my bot. Let's see if we can see one. So you can see right here, 8 p.m. at night, right? This was, you can see it. You have some tasks left, including research ideas for Lacey's membership package. Lacey is another client of mine. Polish details for her membership package, and then create copy for Alethea's community page. Most are marked not started with lower priority. Why? Is because I built it over in a database, which is off of Airtable. But anyway, it says, let's plan for tomorrow. Which 1 to 2 tasks do you want to focus on? Right? So the goal with this is I need it. So again, it has this Airtable right here. It has the task table, and then it'll format that data that I have, and then it comes over here. So you can see right here, this job is to take the information and summarize them and ask for tomorrow's top priority following the system instructions. But Casanova, what are these system instructions? Well, that's right here, where you see you're Casanova's friendly productivity agent. Ask for 1 to 2 priorities for tomorrow. Be concise, positive, and encouraging, right? So you could see right here, this is what it does. Now, it takes those, right? And if I can tell it, because it asks what are tomorrow, I could say, let's add, create a presentation for LaShana's community for tomorrow. It would add that to my Airtable database, right? Now, where does that go? The next morning, you can see I have an AM productivity agent. So that next morning at 8:15 in the morning, it then sets the agenda for the day. So what it does is it will summarize those tasks, and it'll give me one like motivational tip. And then it'll be like, hey, Casanova, here's the top priorities, because it also adds the event to my calendar. So it gets pretty complex, but again, I want to wrap this up, and I want to show you guys this system. So if you have any other questions, feel free. You can reach out. I'll come back in and I'll show it. But anyway, so this is the productivity agent that I also built. This was to scratch my own itch. Now, I told you guys about something. A lot of people have YouTube channels, but the main issue with a YouTube channel is a lot of people, they don't know how to optimize their YouTube channel. Now, if you remember, AI, or not even AI, YouTube is a search engine, right? The largest search engine in the world, as we know it right now, is Google, right? What's the second largest? It's YouTube. Who owns YouTube? Google does, right? So SEO is a huge, huge factor in this. So I built a couple systems in this. I'll show you the first system that I built. I built these automated YouTube channels. Now I'll show you this one. I first off, and I started building this one. Now, this one right here, it goes through, it scans YouTube channels, which are my competitors. So right now I just have 8 channels in here. I have this in the political and the celebrity niche. Now, the reason why I did this, I don't really follow a lot of celebrity drama or anything else, but it's always content on it, right? Politics, CNN, CNBC, or not CNBC as much, but CNN, Fox News, there's always content. People love to talk about it. So it's the easiest thing for me to do, for me to test it out, right? So within that, I had scanned those channels. I get these YouTube nodes. Then from there, I get like the latest video stats. From there, I get the channel stats, and there's a lot of technicality in this. It's a little bit too much to to kind of go over in one sitting. But what I want you to know is after I pull all of the data from that channel, so I pull the transcripts, I pull the title, everything. From there, I throw it to my YouTube agents. So you can see right here, I tell it that you are this channel's, ad friendly but merciless script architect. I give it all of this information, which is the transcript, the title, the channel name, the video tags, the duration. I give it all of these different things, right? And then I tell it what I need it to do. The reality of it is on the end of it, it comes here. And I'll move this. It comes here. And here's what you'll see created at the end of the day. So it creates this entire title, this segment window. This is all 100% AI automated, right? It then knows, okay, we're going to go from this segment to this segment, because the original video that we're building off of, that we're essentially creating commentary for, as you can see, it's in Pierce Morgan, so it's a proven channel. Now, one of the coolest things about this system is that I'm going after specifically outlier videos. So I don't just take any video from here. I need videos that are outliers based off of their channel. So I've given it some code in here to where it knows what to go after. So to show you just a quick bit of what this looks like, we come back over here, you can see outlier score. So there's a lot of stuff that goes on here, but I'm just going to run through it one time so you guys can see what this will look like. So you can see right now, I just hit the trigger. Now it's going to go through, it's going to scan these channels. So you can see here's all of the channel IDs that it came with. Now, if you wanted to see this, I'm giving you guys all of the sauce. This is because LaShana, my sister. So I'll show you guys this right here.
Casanova, this is $1,000 plus masterclass, yo. Wait till I talk to you after this. Okay, I'm on.
So so right here, you guys are looking at the TD channel. So you can see here's the channels. I have it going off of the channel source list. So here are the channels, and then here is the channel IDs. I need that to be able to pull all of the YouTube information. From there, as you can see, I have processed videos. So all of these videos have been processed. So we take the original title like I showed you guys before, and then based off of the original title that's already proven to be an outlier, I have it build a new title, right? So you'll see all of this, but again, we've done lots of videos on this and it runs every single day. So again, this is 100% automated and I make money off of this channel without, so here, I make money off of this channel without me doing anything. Now I'll show you the truth one. Right. So this right here, the biggest thing is you have to obviously crack the algorithm. So we've been doing shorts where it comes here. Now, if I show you, because I have these two channels, I'll show you the analytics. So you can see right now in the last 30 days, I've gotten 175,000 views on this, right? We've made $35. Remember, I don't do anything with this. Now you're like, how don't you do anything with this? It's because as you see, it goes off of a scheduled trigger. So 6 a.m. every morning, this goes off on its own. And what you see is this final product right here. And then I have a guy who I pay that goes through, edits it, and puts it all together. But I don't touch this. So now that I've built out the system, even if I get my next video, which it's proven that it can, and here's what I'll show you. I'll show you the other channel as well, which is even more souped up. So if we look at Pulse on Society, and I'll show you this channel. And the biggest thing is you got to catch the algorithm, right? But if I show you the popular video, you could see this video right here. We did 178,000 views. Now, if you listen at this,
and
so
It turns out that the consulting firms Kamala Harris's campaign hired in order to help her win the election that she actually ended up losing have all sorts of interests that conflict with what the Democratic Party purports to support policy-wise. And recently, the fine reporters over at Sludge investigated where the Harris campaign spent the $1 billion that they raised.
Kamala Harris's campaign raised over $1 billion, but now it's millions in debt. And where did all that money go? Spoiler alert. Straight into the pockets of corporate consultants working against you. This isn't just bad strategy. It's a $1 billion scam, and we're about to expose every piece of it. Buckle up, because this is going to blow your mind.
In just a few
Now, what do you guys think of that? Here's what I'll say. Like, I'm not even gonna hold you. That is 100% AI. That voice was used via 11 Labs. So if I come back to my 11 Labs and I'm in my account, if I look at my voices, we have a voice.
The best thing about the future is that it only comes one day at a time.
That's the same voice that you just heard. It's the same voice that you just heard. So I gave
The best
it,
thing about the future is that it only comes one day at a time.
so yes. So again, 100%. This is why YouTube is because they're smartened up, right? So you guys are getting to see the back end like nobody sees this. So I'm giving you guys all of the sauce of just things that I've built out. So you guys see this again, it's all systems. You build it once and it keeps going, right? So that's this part. Now, what's cool about it is I built this in the beginning for just that. And you can see that there's these AI agents, right? Well, for the POS channel, which I'll show you guys, the cool thing about this one is if we go back, you can see that now these have pictures on them. Well, why? Is because you guys probably already know, but ChatGPT wound up coming out with image generator 4.0. So within this, I basically souped up the automation, which you saw, which is the first version. I souped that up in on the TD channel, and on this channel, as you guys will see, there is 2 agents. So you have this first AI automation agent, and then you have this one right here, where it takes it and it generates the images. So what you guys are seeing on these backside with these images is based off of the original reference image, and then it creates this image, right? So now when you look at this, you can see that this is completely AI, right? So if we look at the first video, and this was based off of CNN, and hopefully it shows, see if it shows their thumbnail. How long ago was this video? 2 weeks ago. Well, if you go find this video, the thumbnail will look pretty close, right? But again, AI is generating it. Is it going to be perfect right now? No, absolutely not. Why? Is because this is, this is the start of it. But you could see where things are going. This one looks pretty close to Donald Trump just off the first look at it, right? So again, there's things that you can tweak, you can change. It's not going to be perfect. You throw this into Canva, you change the wording on it, and then it's great. But again, you now don't have to maybe pay somebody because this is way cheaper, right? If you're paying $20, it's an easy way to do it. So last system that I want to show you guys, and then I'm gonna have to, I know I gotta go, I got something else I gotta get going to, but I'm gonna show you guys this system as well, because this is a cool system that I built that I'm also pretty proud of. So those systems, they run without me. But this system right here, this was something that I built because I wanted to go back through and I wanted to optimize all of my old YouTube videos, right? So again, if you have a YouTube channel, you want to optimize those videos, but you're like, hey, I don't want to pay somebody $25 to optimize every single video, but I know that there's good content in there. But this is why I built this system out. So if we come here and you'll see, there's a couple parts to this. And this is why I tell you that N8N is so powerful, right? You do have to learn how to use it, but this is why I say that it's unbelievably powerful. So in content, And I just created a video on this, but I'm going to give you guys a quick overview. But there's two parts to this. First off, I could execute this part manually, or I could have it check once a week, twice a week, whenever it is, right? Depending on how much you're putting content out. So what I did here was I had to get I had to get all of my previous videos. So I gave it my channel ID, but I only wanted the videos within the last year. I felt like my message is more relevant in the last year. That's the path that I want to stay on. So for some of you all who are content creators, you might be thinking, oh my God, I've switched it up 2-3 times. Like if you go to my YouTube channel, you'll see all my real estate content, but I don't talk real estate as much anymore. Now I talk more mindset, personal development, life stories. So I was like, I wanted something that's more about this. So I started that around June of last year, end of June. So I had to get that. So then from there, it added everything to the Google Sheet, and that Google Sheet is what you see right here, right? So in the beginning, none of this new title was in here. When it added it, it just took the YouTube URL. It has these statuses, optimized status and playlist updated. And then, and this was all it put on there because this was all the information that it had. Well, then it goes after it puts and it adds all of that to the Google Sheet, automate it, right? And this takes about 6 seconds. Then it goes to part 2. And I'm going to show you guys this part 2 live, right? So as you look at this sheet right here, you'll see all of these statuses stay pending, right? And if I pull up this video right here, this is a video that I did. How do you have charisma? How do you build rapport? Right? And so you guys can see this right here. Now, you can see what the title is. What are you passionate about? Dale Carnegie's secret question. Now, how did I do this? There was a lot of prompting that went into this, right? There's 2 different AI agents in here. The system message, remember, you're a world-class, award-winning, I wasn't playing, right? YouTube SEO strategist, right? And viral copywriter specializing in this, right? So you guys kind of see it right here of what I do. Now I'm going to show you guys this in live time. So right now it's pulling, now it's getting my transcript off of this first video. So we'll come over here and you guys will see. So it's getting the transcript. And what you're going to see is here in a second, because it's still running through. So now it's coming up with the new title, new description, new keywords. And what happened right here? The metadata, where did it come from? Metadata, invalid video keywords. What? Let's try this one more time. Errors, metadata reader. Invalid tags. Why would it be invalid tags? The tags are right here. Video tags. So this is a problem when you have systems. So I've already done all of this, which it updated. That's why you see all of these new titles in here. And let's see if it actually appended though. I got to see where it was in here. So no, of course it's right before. So update the description and the tags. Here was the title. Here's this. So I won't take up this is where you're just, of course, is when you go to show it. This happens. So update tags, video tags right here. SEO keywords. Hold on 1 second. Invalid keyword. Invalid video keyword. So see if it runs this time. It's coming back through. It'll extract this data. And if not, I'll just show you guys it working. So of course. So let's look at the history because I just changed it up earlier today. But as you could see, I had it go through and optimize every single one of my videos. So you can see the old title, here's the new title, right? You could see here's the old title, here's the new title. So how did I do this and what did that look like? Well, with this agent, I'll come back and I'll show you because even within this that builds instant rapport. Where was the video? Give me one. So here you guys can still see it in action. I don't know why the YouTube note isn't taking it right now, but I'll fix that in just a quick bit. But I'm not gonna hold you guys on the call while doing this. If this was like a live build out, you guys will get to see it. But I do want to show you one thing. So you could see that it took this video title because the transcript was available. What are you passionate about? Dale Carnegie's secret question. Well, if we come to the real video, what are you passionate about? Dale Carnegie's secret question. Well, what was the output? So now, based off of everything that I've told it of how to optimize and write a better title, better description, everything, you'll see that it gave me the new optimized title is Dale Carnegie's secret question that builds instant rapport. So once this updates to YouTube, which I don't know why it's not taking it because you see all of the things are green, but this is what the new title would be, right? Dale Carnegie's secret question that builds instant rapport. There would be an optimized description. Remember, I've already told it exactly how I want the description formatted. So it has my links already in there and everything. So if you come down here, you will see my links in this formatting. This is 100% AI, right? The video tags, everything. So of course, the one time you go to show it, because I'm working with it all day and nothing goes wrong, but the one time you go to show it, it doesn't. But as you guys will see, like I said, when you're doing these, it goes through and this one went for, so right here, 29 minutes, as you'll see right here, if you can see my screen, and it went through, it pulled 32 of the videos, got the transcript. You see this little 31 right here. So it got 31 of them. You could see all 31 here. 30, 29, all of my different videos. It went through and it did it, right? It brought all of my videos. But then after it gets all of the videos, you can see that I have different paths in here. Is the transcript available? If it is, I need you to optimize it. So as you can see right here, it optimized all 30. Here's the new titles, the new descriptions, the new everything. Then it comes here and you can see that it was the exact same thing. This is why I tell you it's the same. I don't know why it gave me this, but I'll fix it. But I just don't want to hold you guys watching it where it's just dead air. But you guys can see this and it goes through and it optimized every single one of them. So that's how, but yeah, so you guys got a chance to see this system right here. I absolutely love this system because again, how much money would this cost you? And there's a lot of people that have a lot of YouTube videos, but they're not optimized, right? So now I optimize all of my videos. I get the playlist, I update the playlist that they are because I changed my playlist based off of what my new direction is, right? So that just kind of gives you a little bit more. And now for every single channel that I have, I can now just duplicate everything over here. And then I could duplicate it and I could just run this entire system through there. So no matter what, I can optimize all of my videos every day if I wanted to. I could optimize them once a week. I can, do whatever it calls for. And so you guys are seeing the power of AI automation, and more importantly, you're seeing the power of systems. So hopefully this helps you all. I know that I went a little bit off of the presentation, but I love to be able to show things in action. The things that I would tell you is that there's no limit to what you can build with automations, right? I still use ChatGPT, I use Claude, I use all of these different systems, but more importantly, it's just using your imagination and having a partner that can put these systems to work for you and that can, bring them out to life if you don't want to do it. But I would tell you right now is the best time for you to be able to scale having a lean business because AI is really just changing everything. So hopefully this was helpful. Again, if you have any questions, you can connect with me, social media, through LaShana. I do have, and this is, again, I'm a part of this community, the content school, but I do have my own free community, which is called the AI Builders Academy. Hopefully, LaShana doesn't mind me sharing that. But that's also where you'll be able to connect with me. I know LaShana will be in there helping me as well. But this is the types of system that I am, super excited about building. I showed you guys what we're doing for actual small to medium-sized businesses, but then also for content creation. I'm building out systems that way as well. And these are same power and systems that you guys have the potential to build for your business. You just got to imagine it and get you the right AI partner. So hopefully that was helpful. LaShana, that's all I have on this one. I don't know if you want to pop on here or and if you guys want to connect with me, like I said, the best way to connect with me, you can find me on YouTube. You will see some videos that I've been doing. I have a couple YouTube channels, but you'll be able to find me there. Also, I have a community called the Dream Builders AI Academy, which is a free community. So you'll be able to come in here. I'll be putting templates in here. We'll drop videos in here. I also, inside of my classroom, you'll see a start here. And I tell you about what to do in your first 30 days, how to choose your first quick win. I go a lot more in depth. And these are videos kind of like what you guys got today. So yeah, that's what I would say. Hopefully this was helpful for you all, but I appreciate everybody tuning in and yeah, in the dream we trust. Remember, go out and make it a great one.